like a phoenix, you burst into fire, burn a thirst and desire. You transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings and rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst into fire, burn a thirst and desire. You transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. So, we just checked out Bleach episode 13. We just got done watching that one, guys. We are here on Bleach episode 14, guys. Real quick before we jump into the recap of last episode and move forward, guys. Hit that subscribe button, guys. Trust me. You won't regret it. I promise you. You're going to love it, man. We're going to continue doing this content, guys. I'd appreciate if you hit that sub button, guys. I mean, we're at it's like 99.8% of people watching this stuff have not hit subscribe. So hit that sub button, guys. I don't know what's holding you guys back. You can let me know in the comments if there's things down there that you have reserves about or whatnot like that, guys. But I promise y'all, man, you won't regret joining the community and being a part of this, man. And yeah, that's all I said. I just had to plead my case as to why you guys should hit that sub button. But anyways, guys, you can check these things out. They are over on Patreon. They're unedited. Like I said, right now, they're usually just a week ahead. It's free to join on Patreon over there if you'd like to. So you can do that as well. But at the bare minimum, guys, again, hit that sub button, man. Let's run this thing up, guys. Let's run this thing up, and let's see if we can't get this channel to grow. So with all that being said, guys, we're going to jump into episode 14 of Bleach. Last episode, we obviously found out that there is far more to Orihime and Chad than we knew. Apparently, if I don't freaking choke here, apparently Ichigo's spirit energy has kind of been releasing and having an influence on them. That was the words that were used, was that they have had an influence on the two of them. We found out that Orihime's like little, what do you call it, the hairpins, they release, not fairies, I don't remember what they were called. They look like fairies to me. I'm going to call them fairies for now until I learn what they actually are called and I can remember it. But they specifically said last episode they're not fairies. My bad. My B. I'm going to call them fairies, though. The little fairy things. These little fairy things showed up, and she has the ability to use them for like a defensive attack, healing attack, or sorry, not an attack, but a defensive mode, a healing mode, and an attack. So she's basically got a pretty legit power going on there too. And then we learned Chad has like some super strong arm where he like grew a whole like metal arm on him. So I mean, like, dude, things are just popping off here, man. Like people are getting powers, and then we got Uryu, I think is what his name was, who's a Quincy. He's, opened up the gates. The portals have become far bigger deal than we thought that they were because there's far more hollows coming through. But we also know that the hollows coming through are just kind of basic hollows. So let's jump in here. Let's see what happens, man. I'm assuming that they're all going to have to work together to overcome all the hollows that are coming through because, like we said, obviously something went wrong with the bait or the portals that he opened for this competition. So we're going to jump in here. We're going to check this thing out, guys. Let's get into this, man. This is Bleach, episode 14. Let me jump forward. All right, let's get it. Drop the mic down a little bit.
You better get ready, Uryu Ishida.
Uryu
'Cause I'm gonna
Ishida.
beat the hell out of you. Do you know that?
I love Ichigo's confidence, baby.
Oh no, you don't.
Get him, Ichigo. Damn, bro, slice that arrow in half. His finger's bleeding too.
To you, this is
I don't know
just
if
a
maybe
contest
there's-
to see which of us can kill the most hollows. What are you waiting for? Come on!
Ichigo, wait!
What do you want?
Look up there!
What the hell?
Damn, that's a lot of
The
hollows.
hollows. They're gathering.
Where are you going? There are too many of them.
Now who's afraid, Ichigo? Huh? If you don't have the guts, just stay back here and watch. I told you before.
Called out.
I am the winner!
They were systematically killed by the Soul Reapers.
As you can imagine, it was a very difficult and painful decision for the Soul Reapers. But in the end, it became necessary to destroy the Quincy's.
Soul Reapers were also referred to by other names back then. They were called balancers or regulators.
What did they balance?
The number of souls in the Soul Society and in the human world does not change by much as time goes by. They just trade places between the two worlds. It's the job of Soul Reapers to regulate that, to keep the balance.
So real quick, she's saying, I mean, basically, yeah, Soul Reapers are the reason that the Quincy's are extinct because they went after them because they're balancers or the regulators, as she said. But she's saying that every time a soul enters this world, one has to leave it. Is that kind of what she's saying? So, like, if for every soul that you are basically sending to the Soul Society, a new soul is supposed to be born into the real world to kind of balance that. Is that what she's kind of saying right there? I get that confused me a little bit. I'm not sure if she's saying new spirits have to be born, like as in children and child or babies are born, and you have to balance it that way, or maybe I'm confused by what she said.
The Quincy's didn't cleanse the Hollows. They destroyed them completely.
Yep, which we already knew.
This meant that any soul which left the Soul Society for the human world would never return. It would have meant the apocalypse. So there were many meetings between the Soul Reapers and the Quincy's, but to no avail. The Quincy's refused to listen to reason.
Sensei.
Audio!
There you go. Ichigo's gonna help him.
Kurosaki, you are completely insane.
All right, Audio!
I don't care about some slaughter that happened 200 years ago. It's just one more fact that was passed down to me from my sensei. In fact, when I heard that story, I think I sided more with the Soul Reapers than I did with the Quincy's.
Oh,
That is, until my sensei was murdered.
I was about to say that's probably more personal for him with his sensei.
But the memory of those souls who are lost is what is important now, and to worry about who was right and who was wrong is meaningless. We must do all we can, Uryu, to prevent such a tragedy from ever happening again.
Kind of sounds like Gaara. It's like, but older.
He was a kind gentleman with no hatred in his heart. To the very end, he tried to convince the Soul Reapers that Quincy's were necessary. He kept encouraging them to work together. Then one day, 5 hollows appeared and surrounded Sensei. It was obvious that he couldn't take them on his own, and yet not one Soul Reaper came to his aid. They knew about the hollows. Sensei was under constant surveillance, and yet it was 2 hours before they finally arrived. Now do you understand? Ichigo Kurosaki. That's the reason that this is so important. Why I have to prove to you and to all Soul Reapers the superior strength of the Quincy?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. He's valid in his feelings, to be honest. I mean, if his grandfather really was trying to bridge the gap between the Quincy's and them, and then really, it basically, I'm assuming, because it must have been his, or not his grandfather, his sensei and him were the last 2 Quincy's left, and the Soul Reapers basically said, no, we're not going to do anything to help. And then, of course, like, I get it to his point. Like, if you have this guy under constant surveillance, he gets attacked, you did nothing for it. I'm sure that it was probably a political decision by the Soul Society that, hey, this is a way to rid ourselves of this problem, and we don't have to get our hands bloody in the process. Like, we can just let the hollows do their thing, and then we'll appear, but it will make it out like it was too late. So, like, he's valid in how he feels, to be honest. I don't understand his hate towards Ichigo because of what Ichigo is. That doesn't mean Ichigo was a part of that whole problem. So I don't know why he directly hates Ichigo so badly. But, like, I can understand his hate towards the Soul Society itself.
I realize that our methods are different, that our ways of thinking are at opposite poles. So if you really believe my way is wrong, then stay back and watch. Watch and witness the true power of—
Shut up already!
No
What
shot,
is
he
your
kicked him in the
problem?
back of the head.
You messed up your own story! Your sensei wouldn't want you to prove the strength of the Quincy's. You said it yourself, his greatest hope was for Quincy's and Soul Reapers to work together. But I say when 2 warriors are heavily outnumbered, the trick is to fight back to back.
Very well.
Yo, dude, Ichigo, he goes on bad, man.
After all, we both share the same single-minded purpose. We both have reasons to want to destroy as many hollows as we can.
You know my reason, but what's yours?
My mother was killed by a hollow. It's something I don't ever want to see again. That sadness in their faces.
so that such sadness will never again occur in the lives of humans or Soul Reapers.
Uryu is starting to see it, dude. He's starting to see that he's honorable
I
with
know that I
this.
can't protect everybody in the world. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna be content protecting only the people I can hold in my arms either. We've gotta work together. You and me. So what do you say?
What do I say? I think you talk too much. But I understand what you're saying. I have to help you survive this battle or you won't be around for me to kick your butt.
Sounds like a plan!
Damn, they're squad wiping these dudes, man. Still feels like there's the same amount, though, that there was when they started.
What the? Ichigo,
Insert Chad, insert Orihime.
at the sky.
What's that?
I don't know.
Oh, shit. Those some big hands, bro. I feel we're about to get a much more powerful hollow coming through there, man.
Oh no. Is that what I think it is? It can't be.
What is that huge thing? Tell me! That's not your everyday garden variety hollow.
That little bit of bait I used can't possibly have drawn this.
Maybe not, but it's here.
Who the hell's this? Oh, it's
Sorry, we're
that
so
one little
late.
girl.
I thought you might need a little assistance, Ichigo.
Mr.
This guy's so freaking dope. I'm gonna lie, that's a sick weapon, dude.
Menos Grande.
Menos what?
It's a huge hollow, born from hundreds and hundreds of hollows mixed and folded and crushed together. Until now, I've never seen it except for illustrations in textbooks. Menos Grande.
Menos Grande.
I don't know what we can do. Only one group can handle this thing. The Royal Special Task Force.
We're just gonna have to chop a little more.
Chop?
Yep, and the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Yes, sir. Let's go,
Together we'll
Ichigo,
take
bro.
that ugly sucker
I
down.
love that, man.
Let's go, Uryu!
The bigger they
You're
are, the
trying
harder
enough
they
to go
fall.
up
Let's
against Menos
go.
Grande. Huh? Urahara, are you trying to get Ichigo killed out there?
Of course not. Just watch. There is a method to my madness. This is a battle that must be fought.
I told you that would happen!
What did he bind?
Damn it! Hey, Ichigo, so can you get up?
Sure, I'm good as new.
That was the dumbest charge I think I've ever seen. What were you thinking? Did you actually think that would work?
Huh? Well, I figured if I just kept chopping away on him like a giant tree, I'd eventually bring him down to the point where I could whack him on the head.
I get up and let's try a different strategy.
Oh, what was that?
What is this? There's power flowing into me from his sword. This must be Ichigo's power.
Orihime, do you see Ichigo?
Damn, that's a
and
big
Uryu
ass
next to
freaking
him?
thing.
Yes. Mr. Urahara said to watch from here. So, does he mean we should watch so when the time comes, we'll be able to choose the path we'll walk? What are we supposed to do now?
Now we are ready to fight that thing.
You're not serious. This won't work.
Every time.
Quiet! Just do what I say. You've got to release all of your spirit energy at once.
Why
while we're
has he got the
connected.
sword
That
on his
way I
head
should
like
be able
that?
to harness the power and shoot an enormous arrow. What's been your method for battling with the
He's got
hollows all
it
this
tied on his
time?
head with a freaking.
Just instinct.
Ah, bro's freaking wild,
Just
dude.
instinct? But that's impossible.
I never did really understand that stuff. I figured my spirit energy was pretty much always at its maximum level.
What's happening?
Oh no. Masato? Does he intend to release a Doom Blast right here?
Grab that sword and let's do it.
Y'all better get on it then, man.
I meant let's do it together!
Oh, Ichigo, what are we doing, bro?
I'm feeling extraordinary spiritual pressure. Ichigo's power, it's actually increasing! It's like a faucet that's been left turned on with the water gushing out. Most people will quickly turn it off, but if Ichigo were to do that, if his spirit energy were to stay bottled up, then soon the spirit pressure would begin to skyrocket.
Then it would explode? Like it would have a huge burst.
I think it's time.
Oh, damn, bro. He's just sliced that thing down the middle.
Menos is retreating.
Oh, he didn't cut it in half.
I win!
What in the world is he?
Well done. Now I can understand why the boss has been keeping an eye on this one.
Well, what's the matter, Uryu? You don't have anything to say? I just saved your butt. Cleaned up your mess, too. It seems like you could at least say thank you or congratulations or something. That's weird. I can't move.
He just used up a ton of his spirit energy, that's why. What is his sword doing?
The Zanpakuto. It's breaking down.
Ichigo released all his spirit energy at one time.
I've got to do something before it's too late. If I can release Ichigo's out-of-control spirit energy bit by bit, by firing arrows until his energy level stabilizes. I have to make sure you survive so I have someone to pummel in the future. Stay alive, Soul Reaper, so I can beat the hell out of you, and so you can try to do the same to me, Ichigo. I'm going to save a Soul Reaper's life. I'm a weak disciple, Sensei. A weak apprentice, unable to give his life for you.
How am I supposed to beat up that guy? He's just so pathetic.
Damn. Dang, man. So basically, Ichigo thought this whole time he was always operating on like maximum level, and he's actually been operating not on maximum. But like, I guess I'm confused by like the way that they phrased it. So I'm just gonna kind of spill out my thoughts on like how I think I understand it. And if I'm way off, someone will have to let me know in the comments below if I'm off or I'm not understanding it correctly. Because they're basically saying that Ichigo's spirit energy, right, has basically just always been like a faucet that was turned on and left on. So it's always constantly just been leaking out of him, which explains why Orihime and Chad were affected by his spirit energy. But basically what they're saying he did was that he shut off his spirit energy, or he like condensed it so that it would bottle up and build up this pressure. And then he released that pressure by basically allowing it to go max again. And that's how he was able to defeat this big hollow, or he was able to send it back. But by doing so, it's kind of like a burst pipe, right? Like if a pipe bursts, it releases all that pressure, but then that pressure just like it's constantly going out of where it burst at. It's not like it fixes itself all of a sudden. That's why right now, all of his spirit energy is leaking so much, because it's essentially like the pipe burst. And right now, Urui, is trying to fix that by basically like clogging that and allowing the pressure to release slowly versus all exploding out at one time. And that's how it's kind of saving Ichigo. Because I'm assuming once your spirit energy like is drained out of you, you die. I could be way off right here. This is kind of just what I took out of it and my understanding of how I think that spirit energy works. So let me know down below, guys. Let me know if I'm way off right here, man. Super cool to see how these guys all work together. I'm curious as to what the path is that they were talking about, that what's his name was sending them on. Orihime and Chad were standing there saying, oh, he wanted us to watch so that we could decide if the path right in front of us was the right path to walk or something. So I wonder if he's talking about like the path of like going down the same road Ichigo is, where you're kind of helping Soul Society. Is that kind of what he's getting at or whatnot? I don't know. This guy seems like he knows a lot more, or he's kind of brainstorming a lot more things than what we've seen so far on screen. So I don't know. There's a lot going on. I'm excited for it, man. It was really cool to watch these two finally fight it out, and Ichigo saved Urui. Now Urui is saving Ichigo. So it's all kind of coming back together. But I appreciate y'all, man. We will catch you guys in episode 15 of Bleach, and we'll see you next episode.